All right, pardon my organized chaos over here, but this is kind of my station with a bunch of my stuff that I use. So 3D printer, not necessary at all, but if you want to do inserts or if you want to make your own dice masters, very useful to have. Resin, necessity of course. I use Total Boat. I haven't decided if I want to stick with it or not, but it's useful. Also, UV resin, you're going to want gloves, must, wax paper. Very, very helpful. You kind of need that for being able to clean things and keep your work area cleaner. This is mainly silicone for other stuff, blah, blah, blah. Pressure pot, not a necessity, but very, 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 very helpful. I don't know how people make this without a pressure pot, if I'm being entirely honest. But you gotta have your pressure pot if you wanna avoid bubbles the easiest way. And of course, pressure pot has to come with a compressor because you use the compressor to pressurize the pressure pot. Over here, I've got mold making stuff, blah, blah, blah. This is my stuff for coloring. So if you're gonna be doing any coloring, you definitely wanna have something for that. So I've got stuff like foils, washi tape, nail stickers. Over here's the rest of my stuff. So you've got mica powder, mica powders, alcohol ink, chunky glitter, less chunky glitter. So just something for coloring it and making them pretty. Sandpaper for when you're finishing your dice. You definitely need sandpaper or Zona paper. This is Zona paper, this is sandpaper. I always get the wet dry sandpaper. Paper towels, you're gonna go through them like mad. It's gonna be delightful. A respirator, definitely need one of these to protect your lungs from the fumes that come from making dice. So protect yourself from the resin fumes, that's what the respirator's for. And then besides that, like this is a big silicone mat to protect my table, so I'm not getting resin on everything. The resin really easily peels off of it, which is super nice. And then you're gonna need molds. So multitude of molds here. This lighter is for popping the bubbles before you put the lids on. I made all my molds, so if you make them, you need other stuff. If you don't make them, you can really easily get molds online. Amazon has them, Etsy has them. There's a bunch of people who have businesses literally just making and selling molds. This is what they tend to kind of look like, more or less. And I mean, besides that, you just need a place to mix them. Silicone cups work great because resin, again, doesn't really stick to that. Split pour cups, not a necessity, but they're fun to have. If you're making your own molds, and you're gonna need dice masters like this. I have a whole video showing these guys off, but you gotta have your dice masters if you're gonna make dice, and you make the molds from them. So, I mean, that's basically it. Honestly, a lot of how I learned how to make dice was from other YouTubers and other TikTokers. A lot of great YouTube videos, a lot of TikTok videos showing how to make molds and how to sand and different pouring methods. So I hope that answers your question and kind of gives you an idea how messy it can be, because my area is a mess right now. It isn't exactly a cheap hobby, but I hope that answered your question, and I'm happy to answer any more that you have. Thanks so much. Bye.